Hello, welcome to this channel. And today's video we'll be looking at a question that many couldn't solve during Harvard entrance exams. And the question says that given the equation where x is a real number, and the equation here is parenthesis open 2x squared minus x plus 4 parenthesis close all squared minus 6 parenthesis open 2x squared minus x parenthesis close equal to 19. So just like we just read the question, we are going to write it as such, which means 2x squared minus x plus 4 parenthesis close all squared minus 6 parenthesis open 2x squared minus x is equal to 19. Now, by careful observation, expanding this parenthesis may lead to troublesome quadratic equation, which means that we have to inspect the question very well and look out for an expression that we can represent it by an unknown variable, and later we continue from there. Which means that looking at the equation, we can see 2x squared minus x here appearing at this side. That is the same 2x squared minus x. So here we can see that this 2x squared minus x is appearing twice. So here we'd have to, or here we can equate it to a common variable and continue with the solution. So we can see that let 2x squared minus x be equal to the variable u. So by direct substitution, then we have u plus 4 for the first parenthesis all squared minus 6, then 2x squared minus x is here, so we are going to write u in place of that, which is equal to 19. So once we have this, we just have to expand u plus 4 all squared, and using the short procedure, expanding this will give us u squared, that is we squaring the first variable, and then we multiply u and 4, that gives us 4u. That answer 4u we multiply by 2 and then gives us 8u. But because plus is here, we repeat the same plus here, and then we write our 8u plus 4 squared, that is we square 4, and then 4 squared gives us 16. So we have that, and then 6u, 6 times 2 gives us 6u. We have our 19 here. Now what we can see here is that there is 8u and then minus 6u, of which we can add. Here we have u squared, and then 8u minus 6u gives us plus 2u. We have our plus 16 equal to 19. Now once we have this, we can transpose the 19 to the left hand side, and that gives us u squared plus 2u plus 16 minus 19, which is equal to 0. So here, by simplifying, we have u squared plus 2u plus, so that gives us minus rather, so minus 3, which is equal to 0. Now once we have this, we just have to simplify this quadratic equation, and when we simplify to its simplest term, we are going to have the factorized terms here as u plus 3, and then the next one as u minus 1, which is equal to 0. So here, when we find for u, we are going to have when u plus 3 is equal to 0, then our u here is equal to minus 3. Again, when u minus 1 is equal to 0, then our u here is equal to 1. But we are not looking for the values of u. Remember, the question said to find for x. So now we have u to be minus 3 and then 1. So that will help us to find the value of x. Remember that we also said that we should let the expression 2x squared minus s to be equal to u, and that will lead us to the value of x. So we continue from here. So it means that from what we said earlier on, that we should let 2x squared minus x to be equal to u, then it implies that if the value of u here is equal to minus 3, then our x value will now give us, so if u is equal to minus 3, then in place of u, we are going to substitute minus 3 there. So it means that we have 2x squared minus x, which is equal to minus 3. Here we have 2x squared minus x plus 3, which is equal to 0. Now simplifying this quadratic equation will give us an imaginary root. So the imaginary roots I'm talking about here means that when we simplify this quadratic equation, we are going to get our x value to be equal to 1 out of 4 plus square root of 23 on 4i, and then we are also going to get x to be equal to 1 out of 4 minus square root of 23 minus 4i, and these are imaginary roots. But the question said that we should solve for x and get a solution where x is a real number. So this is what the question emphasized. So you cannot continue with the imaginary root answer. It means you have to go further. So our value here, where x is an imaginary root, we cannot continue. But remember, we had two values for u. We had minus 3 and 1. So you continue if u is equal to 1. So we have here if u is equal to 1, then we said that 2x squared minus x should be equal to u, which means our 2x squared minus x is now equal to 1. So here we can transpose 1 to the left hand side, and we have this. So solving this quadratic equation will lead us to factors which are x minus 1 and then 2x plus 1, which is equal to 0. So this is 2x plus 1, which is equal to 0. So here we can see that when x minus 1 is equal to 0, then it means that our x value now here is equal to 1. In the same way, when 2x plus 1 is equal to 0, then it means that our x value here, that is x, is equal to minus 1 on 2. So this becomes the value of x, that is x is equal to minus 1 and x is equal to minus 2. So therefore our solution for the question now becomes, so therefore we can see that therefore x here is equal to 1 or x is equal to minus 2, and this becomes the solution to the Harvard entrance exams that many couldn't solve. If you like this video, if you enjoyed this video, kindly subscribe, comment, like and share to others so that they may get to know how to solve this Harvard entrance exams, and to be very helpful. Thank you for joining BakoMaths today. See you in our next video.